Well, here's something we don't see very often at all. Nintendo acquired a new studio. One of our very own out of Canada, Next Level Games, located in Vancouver, is now owned by Nintendo. You may have known them from Luigi's Mansion 3, one of the most recent titles, which obviously hit positive reviews, and it was an outstanding title. But they were formed back in 2002 and recently have decided to sell a lot of their stocks, which gave Nintendo the opportunity to sweep in and pick them up. So, are we going to get Luigi's Mansion 4? Only time will tell.
So on New Year's Day, EA Sports NHL 21 announced their Team of the Year for Hockey Ultimate Team. And let me tell you, they had 36 players to kind of comb through on the nominee list to try to narrow it down to just 5 skaters and 1 goalie. And let me tell you, they managed to do it, and we got ourselves a pretty good list. Some will say it's definitely probably the best line you could put together with a goalie from the 2020 season based on their performances. You know what, with no further ado, let's check out this list. First up's going to be the goalie, Andrei Vasilevskiy. At 25 years old, he had a nearly perfect season. He led the NHL in regular season wins, and he capped it off by bringing his Tampa Bay Lightning to the Stanley Cup and taking it home. Sticking with the Lightning, we're going to come up with our first defenseman, Victor Hedman. This guy was an absolute beast this year. 55 points in 66 games in the regular season. And then in the playoffs, nearly a point per game player. And he took home the Conn Smythe Trophy along with that Stanley Cup. Sticking with the defenseman, we've got Kale Mccarr. He's probably one of the most recognizable youth players in the league right now because let me tell you, this 21-year-old defenseman had an absolute beast rookie season. He had 50 points in 57 games, and let me tell you, he took home the Calder Trophy for his efforts, and I only think his sophomore year is going to get even better. Our first forward on the list is Artemi Paneran. The New York Rangers really relied on him this past season. They needed him. And you know what? He stepped up. 95 points in 69 games. And his 32 goals were a career high. You know what? This is definitely a good relationship here with Artemi coming to the New York Rangers. And he's only proven it time and time again. So it'll be awesome to see what he can do in 2021. Our second forward is going to be NHL MVP Leon Dreisseil. Let me tell you, this guy is an absolute monster. He plays a 200-foot game, everything back and forth, but you know what? His line mate, Connor McDavid, definitely has something to do with that. But this guy can stand on his own because guess what? He led the league in assists with 67 and points with 110. So you know what? He just earned his spot on this list regardless of who his line mates are. And our last forward from the Boston Bruins, David Pasternak. This guy was a goal-scoring machine. He tied with Alexander Ovechkin this year, the cover athlete of NHL 21, with 48 goals. Yeah, that's right, 48 goals. That's unbelievable. And with that effort, he was able to help his Boston Bruins reach the 100-point mark for the season as a team. The only team in the league that was able to do it, actually. So pretty unbelievable. So let me tell you, that's an absolute wild list. Those are 6 amazing players. And you know what, EA Sports did a good job picking this list because there was 36 great players to choose from here. So that was a hard list to kind of crack down and just get down to 6. But it's not over because they're getting recognized not only in-game, but out-of-game. In-game, all the players are going to be receiving a Team of the Year Hut item, which is going to be their highest rated player item, which is going to be super cool to be able to add that into your Hut team if you're looking to pick up one of these cards. But the thing that I thought was even cooler here was they're being recognized, you know, in person. They're getting custom skates. Hockey Ultimate Team of the Year custom skates. EA Sports is kind of hooking them up. And the goalie is actually going to be getting a custom helmet. So you know what? This is really awesome. And I think it's a cool way to kind of recognize the players for their tremendous achievements over the past season. And I just think the fact that you can just, you know, add in those super high rated players into your Hut team right away just makes it kind of a no-doubter. So if you're into Hockey Ultimate Team or the NHL at all, you got to check out EA Sports NHL 21 Team of the Year for Hockey Ultimate Team.
Alright, so 2020 has come and gone, and I had a pretty fantastic holidays, spending time with my family and my lovely girlfriend, and playing a lot of video games. So now, heading into 2021, let's get into some news. but more so some rumors. And I had to share this one because this one hits a little close to home and something that I'm incredibly excited for. This is the Elderscrolls TV series that may be coming to Netflix. So this rumor comes from an industry insider, Daniel Richtman, and he reports that Netflix and Bethesda have been in the works of making a TV adaptation. Now, we actually already know that Fallout 4 is getting a TV adaptation brought to Amazon, and I am incredibly excited for that, but I won't get too much into that. But at any rate, this doesn't totally surprise me. There are 5 unconfirmed video game TV adaptations that are in the works. Whether or not that's Bethesda, I'm not really sure, but I really hope so because, well, let's get into what could it be. Is it going to take place after Oblivion or Morrowind? Or is it going to be a completely new iteration set in this universe? There are so many possibilities, and I don't even know which one I'm more excited for. Let me know what you guys think because I want to know what everybody's thinking about this.
When it comes to Nintendo, there are a few series that have a lot of anticipation behind it, one of which is Fzero, something we haven't seen in 16 whole years since the Game Boy Advance release back in 2004. Now, some of the reasoning for there not being any modern titles in that series is that Miyamoto at Nintendo is a large creative force, and he just doesn't see anything new that they can bring to the table for a new F-Zero game. He has cited a lack of controller scheme or, different mechanical innovations that Nintendo has done just haven't really opened up the door too much for new innovation on an F-Zero series. But that being said, fans ask year after year after year, when is the next F-Zero game going to come out? And will it be something like F-Zero GX, which is probably the fan favorite for most people on the GameCube? Now, F-Zero and rumors have been making the runs more recently because of an interview with the producer of F-Zero GX, and in it he was stating that although there isn't anything that he can talk about, of course, he would be absolutely willing to reprise his role and produce another game in the beloved franchise F-Zero. Now, it's a rumor just at this point, but with 16 whole years between the last release and now, the odds are looking better than they ever have before.
If you were fortunate enough to pick up the Series X or the PlayStation 5 last year, you might have got a bit of a surprise when you got it home that it won't fit in your media cabinet. These consoles are a lot powerful and they're a lot bigger in design, and the PlayStation 5 is the largest to date. Well, the Swedish company IKEA have come up with a simple but genius solution. When you go into their shop and you're looking for a media cabinet and you want to see if your console will fit, they do actually have a cardboard mock-up of the Series X and the PlayStation 5 with the dimensions on it for you to try. So you can walk away from the shop knowing that you bought a brand new cabinet and that your new console will fit in there.